We are at war with JD Vance. It all started over the weekend when people pointed out that JD Vance is fat and ugly and Gavin Newsom is tall and handsome. JD Vance has a Jeet family and Gavin Newsom has a white family. JD Vance's family looks like they'd be more at home at a call center, and Gavin Newsom's family looks like they'd be at home running the guard tower at Auschwitz-Birkenau. These are just observations. These are just observations.
Isn't it refreshing? Isn't it refreshing to hear someone just speak their mind? Like, sometimes we just need to hear what we're thinking sometimes. Not miss. It's like, I almost just said not necessarily me to be politically appropriate, but I don't care anymore. I think it's important that we just be ourselves. You know, I was watching a video about the YouTube CEO, and he said, the most authentic thing that I could tell you to do is just be yourself as a creator. That's what people want to see.
Everyone lost their minds. Isn't it just a little bit ironic? It's ironic that the party of BLM and Hamas and race communism looks like Hitler's top soldier, and so does his family. And the head of the fascist Trumpenreich, the heir apparent with Goebbels, Stephen Miller, is run by a faggot with a Jeet family that are scamming your grandma out of her gift cards. It's just funny, okay? Relax. You point this out,
It's
and
hilarious.
all of the Bronze Age bodybuilders, who are actually all Jews, they freak out. And they're saying, you know, we make a lot of jokes on the internet, but that's not funny. I don't know. It's a little funny.
It's hilarious.
Anyway, these are the people that said for 2 years that criticizing Israel was spiritually brown. Spiritually brown, brown-coded. They said if you said that Jews run America, you're a third worldist. And then in the next breath, they say that a guy marrying an immigrant is totally fine because, you know, she looks American enough. She talks like an American. They turn around and say, you're jealous of how hot this Indian woman is. That's the only reason you'd have a problem with this. And it's defensible because the guy just hates white people so much that he had to marry someone from the opposite race of white people. Am I the only consistent racist in the whole country? I thought I was the brown one. I thought I was the third worldist. Am I the only consistent white nationalist? Am I the only consistent white identitarian? Am I the only one that still cares about immigration?
It's true. Now you're starting to see what Nick Fuentes is really saying, and it's true. What I believe that he's trying to convey is that we as a whole, we are not to say and be and act like we are one thing and then do another, right? You can't say that you're this pro-American backwood country boy and this is who I am and I shoot guns and I chew tobacco and then do what? You know, commingle with an international race that is so far segregated from your type that it makes you feel better, that it makes you look better in the public eye, that it makes you more electable, that it makes you more politically accepted. I think that's the point here. I think that he's trying to say that these people that are saying that they are Americans are actually not as American as they say they are. Now, is that evident through their family? I can't say that, but he's definitely trying to create a case around the fact that hatred against white people from the Republican Party and then commingling and marrying an interracial family is completely ripping apart the very sentiment that they created. On top of it, those are the very same people that will not allow white people to congregate unless they call it a Ku Klux Klan rally, which is insane. This all ties in to what I saw on Patrick Bet-David's show this morning. And I was stunned that I didn't even know about what was happening at Target and how this community of Black people have completely destroyed Target's business from being 1/4 the size and market cap of Walmart to being 1/20th in just 4 years. I want you to tell me that if white people congregated and established an organization to basically make Target go broke because we didn't see enough white products. We didn't feel that we were distinguished enough to have a multi-million-dollar product inside Target. We're going to go on strike. We're going to fast Target, and we're going to just congregate, and black people are going to stick together. That's fine. And I agree that that should be very, very accepted. I like that, actually. I like communities sticking together, communities of your own type sticking together. Okay? When you watch this, I want you to tell me in the comments down below if this would be acceptable for white people to do.
This actually became a very big campaign that this black pastor was driving, saying black Americans spend $12 million a day at Target, but Target doesn't listen to us. Watch this clip. Go for it.
Imagine.
Let's be honest, when you
They don't listen to us.
started this,
Yeah.
there were naysayers. There were
Yeah.
people who didn't believe the fast would work.
Yeah. Where we are right now is the stock has plummeted. The valuation has dropped by $12 billion.
Okay, so think about it. They're happy that other people lost their jobs. Okay, that's okay? That's okay? You're telling me that's okay?
Foot traffic is down by 7.9%. The former CEO's salary was slashed by 42%, and now they got a new CEO.
Former CEO.
What have you learned through
fine.
this process about the interaction of Target and this community in particular?
Yeah, well, this is the most effective and sustainable boycott for black people
They're all
in 70
blacks.
years since the Montgomery bus boycott.
Okay, I feel like they're trying every possible way to just penetrate racism down our throats. Anti-Semitism in the United States. Why are they so hyper focused on this? Why? This too now.
And so it was not muscle memory. We had to teach a new generation on the sustainability of unity and that you don't see it overnight, but it's a protracted process.
Look, if you didn't know, a lot of people, especially black people, love Target. In fact, they gave it a nickname of Target at some point. What was that like trying to convince folks out there to give it up?
Knowledge is power. The Bible says people die from a lack of knowledge. When black people understood that we spend $12 million a day at Target, and I couldn't think or find one black company that earns $12 million a day, people began to have the light bulb go off and say, I can't spend my dollars where I'm not getting dignity.
So just go to Walmart. Just go to freaking Walmart, you dumbass. You're going to put a whole organization out of business because you don't have somebody in there shilling their stupid deodorant? This is ridiculous. This country is getting out of control and it needs to be obtained immediately. This is ridiculous. If they can do it, then we should be able to too, or white people should be able to do what they want. And they should have a whole group of white people and a whole community gathering together of only white people, no blacks, no Hispanics, no Iranians, no Cubans, no nothing. And I'm mixed. I'm not even white. I'm actually Aryan. I would love to ask Nick what he thinks about me being Aryan and if I'm actually white, because I'm half Iranian and Cuban, which is an interesting combination. And I caught myself asking myself, am I even white? But I'm Aryan. Anyways, I thought it'd be interesting to bring this to your attention because we need to all really identify what's going on here in this country. Are we actually moving towards a worse racial segregated colony, I guess you could say, or country? Or are we headed towards a place to where all of our community are actually getting together? And if it's individual, that's how it should be, because commingling of races was never a thing anyways. It was a thing when slaves became, and then they got shipped around the world. I'm not a historian, don't quote me on that. So if you like this content, hit one of these playlists, one of these videos, go down the Dankster tunnel, because I promise you, you're not going to want to turn back. I'll see you in the next one. It's your boy Danks.
AP on the beat.
They call me Danks on lock. Yeah.